Here we are live. Hey, it's Coach Manny, and it's Friday. And today we're going to talk about that number one disconnect between your sales and your marketing process. Hey, it's Friday. We're pumped up. We're ready to rock, and we hope you are too. Welcome to our show. And if you caught us on the quick pass this morning, we and if you thought we were kind of rushed, we were trying to cut that down to 1 minute this morning so we could throw it up on Instagram, but we haven't done that yet, but hopefully we will before the day's out. Anyhow, today, welcome to Coach Manny Live on Selling. Our sponsor is 90 Days to Your Success. How to get more done in 90 days than most people get done all year long. So, disconnect number one between your sales and your marketing process. What is that? What are we talking about? Well, the leads that are generated by marketing are not sellable leads. Wow, have you heard that one before? The leads that are generated by marketing are not sellable leads. And this is the number one disconnect number one, not the number one, but we're going to go over a few of these in the next few weeks. Marketing and sales have been trying to work together effectively in organizations for years. Sometimes it's even the same person working. What's I'm doing on this side? What am I doing on that side, right? You know, if you're in that position, your own self. Marketing's primary function, generating leads. Sales' primary function, close the leads and turn them into sales. But let's tweak that just a little bit. It's not just generating leads, it's generating good leads, the right leads. And it's not just turning them into sales, it's turning them into customers for life. Simple, right? Should work like a champ, yet it doesn't. Today, we're going to start on a series of how to get better, stronger, longer lasting results from your sales and marketing process and close the disconnect. Today, we'll examine number one, disconnect. The leads that are generated by marketing are not sellable leads. So hold on, let's get rocking. I'm Coach Manny, and I help business owners to double their sales by helping them build sales processes that excel. Strategically, tactically, all that stuff we got to do. But the bottom line is we create a plan of action that gets your sales rolling. If you need more business, you came to the right place. I do one thing to help you down that road, and we use a simple process. Actually, we use two tools, but the process to get your sales team and your sales process working in a 90-day window. So we work 90 days at a time, and we'll talk more about that later. So if you're struggling with generating business, let us get you on track. If your team is off peak, let us clean it up or overhaul it or buy a new one. And if you hired your first salesperson and it's not working, don't be afraid to do it again because you can make it work. I've been working with sales teams effectively for well over 20 years now. I love it. It works and we get results. So the question for today, are the leads that are generated by your organization, by your marketing process, are those leads sellable leads? And we'll define sellable, I think, here as being a lead that is going to buy your process, right? I mean, you have to define what a sellable lead is in your own organization. So please share this podcast. If you're out there listening, share it with your audience. We'd be excited to have more and more listeners. We got to get a great audience on our 1 to 2 minute tips. And I want to thank all of you who watch them on a regular basis. Our audience is growing tremendously, and we'd like you to share this podcast as well. And so let's rock. Again, for those of you who are just joining us or joined us late, just say hello to us. Put a note out there, say hello. We'd love to hear from you. Maybe I'll do some shout outs later, but we'll see. The number one disconnect between sales and marketing, and that's what we're here to talk about, are they sellable leads? And how can the sales and marketing process work more effectively together in gaining greater results for the entire organization and for the entire team? Isn't that what we're all here for? Absolutely. And I was at a conference Monday, my own self, and I learned some great stuff, and I'll share some of that intertwined in today's presentation. So now, if you were talking to a marketing person, you would hear, if I said, are those sellable leads, what would you hear? Are you kidding me? But if you were talking to the salesperson and you said, are these sellable leads? They might say, they're not. They're not. And you're exactly right. They're not. But the bottom line is this. If you are not taking the time, the effort, the energy with the right people in your organizations to define your target, to define your avatar, and to build a process that goes after them and after them the right people, then I got to give this argument to sales. You see, just because someone shows an interest, makes a call, fills out a form, clicks a link, stops by, that does not make them a prospect. Does not make them a prospect. Actually, it might, but only if you do your homework. So, again, that age-old question, who's your target market? And you know how many times we have emphasized that on this show. And here it comes, hitting us again in the head saying, you need a target market. You need a target market. You need a target market. And it's just kind of wild, actually, as to how important defining that avatar is. And we see it again right here in the sales and marketing process. So companies, let's look at an example just to bring this to head a little bit more. Companies in a healthcare services are my target. Let's say that is the target. I'm looking for companies in healthcare services. I'm looking for companies specifically that have sales in the neighborhood of $5 to $20 million. And I'm looking for them in the greater Seattle area, let's say. That's my target. So get it again. I want healthcare companies doing between 5 and 20 million in the greater Seattle area. And the leads start coming in and everybody gets excited. And I look at the leads and I say, but this is a plumbing company. This is a printer. They're not in this industry. Or they filled out the form. They only do $2 million a year. They're not. Or, look, this is a great lead, but they're in Spokane. You know, all the way on the other side of the state. And we just are not in a position to target them. So even though there was a lead generated, it's not really a lead, is it? I want you just to think about those things. All right, next point. If the lead is not interested in buying right now, but perhaps they want to think about maybe I'm going to buy next year, that's not a sellable lead either, is it? How can I define and find that information out before we get a salesperson involved in the process? Or they don't have any funds and they're not going to have any funds for a while. Again, is not a sellable process. Marketing has to produce sellable leads before those leads get turned over to sales. The better your marketing process is at developing sellable leads, the happier your salespeople will be, the more money they will make, and the more money your company will make. And it's just a fact of life. If it's not a sellable lead, then it really needs to stay in the marketing process, because the only leads that salespeople should be getting are leads that are sellable. The rest of these we should churn, especially with all the automation and everything we have today. We should be churning those, and we should be working them in a marketing process. So what can we do to make sure that the leads that go into the sales team are better sellable leads, and not leads that are waiting to be nurtured and processed by a marketing process? Well, number one, let's look at this. Number one, what do you think it is? Number one is better and tighter definition of our target market. There's that word again, target market. Who, what, when, where, and how. What does your avatar look like? Where does he or she hang out? How much do they make? How much do they sell? What should they be looking for? When? I can't overemphasize that. And we've talked about this and talked about it and talked about it. So I'm going to share a link with you, because remember, we have this free marketing course just for you. And actually, I'll just put the short link out there because it'll make it easier. Go to our free page, download this course. This is an expensive piece of process which we give away, because this is the tool that will help you in this process. And if you're going to go out and you're going to try to generate the right sellable leads, you've got to have this avatar piece in place. So there's a link for you. Get that free course, no cost, no obligation, nothing. Please join us. Time to hear from our sponsor, and then we'll be back. Okay? Our sponsor really is 90 Days to Your Success. And I always like to ask the question, what if? They used to make fun of me when I was a young man, and we'd be sitting around. I used to say, well, what if? But the point is, what if? What if you had a tool that could help you get things done? And I mean get things done faster, more consistently, with greater results. What if you could cut your procrastination down, and you just made the decision and you went on? What if you could produce more consistent outcomes? Would that make a difference in your business? Of course it would. 90 Days to Your Success. How to get more done in less time. And always the question is, are you in? Fade out there, right? 90 Days to Your Success. Successful people do more before noon than most people get done all year. If you were to look at your year in 90-day increments, what would happen? The question is, are you ready to try something like this? Ready to get more done? Ready to have more free time? Ready to dump much of your frustration you've been dealing with? Okay, then get out there. Let me put that link out there for you, just so you understand where we're at here. And there we go. So 90 days to your success. It's out there. Check it out. And let's get back to the show. I got a couple more keys for you here in making this happen. All right. How else can you make sure this happens? Well, a better qualification process on your lead generation process. It's so, so important. Define what you are looking for. If you use like lead setters, or we call them lead setters, or some people call them call appointment setters, they're people who make a call. One of the things, and so many times I hear this, and I used to get junk from these people because they didn't really understand how to qualify and they didn't know the right questions to ask. And so these people, all they're interested in is they get paid by the number of appointments they make. So they make an appointment and you go out to that appointment and it's not a sellable lead. How frustrated, how angry, how, just tired of dealing with that stuff are you? As a salesperson, you can't sell that, so you're not going to make any money, right? If you're doing a survey, if your marketing department's doing survey, make sure they're asking the right questions. That's why sales and marketing need to be integrated and working together tremendously to make sure it's happening. If your lead process is showing ads, make sure those ads are getting shown to the right audience. These are all keys. Remember, and I don't care if you're on the sales side, the marketing side, or the CEO side. The point is, when you go into a lead, it needs to be a lead that can be sold. Otherwise, it still should be in the marketing process. One more, and then we're going to close out. It's always great to be here with you, but I can't, they tell me the attention span today is so short. That's why we do 1 to 2 minutes every morning, and we just try to get you pumped up. So if you're not watching our morning thing, please start watching it. Also, if you haven't got a free copy of our new book, just 100 Points of Wisdom, go out to coachmanny.com. It's out there. It's just a free download, and I want you to have the book. This one I wrote, and I want to just give it away. So check it out. So number 3, spending time and money needed. Stop trying to cut every corner. Stop trying to make stuff so cheap. Spend some money. If you are in the marketing process, remember, you get what you pay for, period. If you're using a cheap process, you're going to get cheap leads. If you get cheap leads, you're going to have angry salespeople. If you have angry salespeople, they're not going to be able to sell. Your business is not going to be able to grow. I told you I was at that conference this week, and one of the things that really came to the surface from one of the speakers was they need to be sellable leads. And I really took that, and that's where we built today's process is, if it's not a sellable lead, why am I working it? And so many times, the leads that are passed on are just plain not sellable. So spend a little bit more money because you're going to spend it anyway. If you use a cheap process, you get cheap leads. If you don't spend the money, you're not going to get in return. If you're doing advertising, then spend the right amount of money. Now, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good Facebook process going. But let's face it, if you're looking to do if you're looking to do digital marketing, I'm working very heavily with some digital marketing, then what you need to do is, you got to set a budget. Are you going to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month? Yeah. Spend the money and watch what kind of leads come back to you, and watch how easily Never easy is probably not the right word because you still need a sales professional. But the point is, get the quality of the lead up to the next phase. So today we talked about that first disconnect, right? The sellable lead. Next week, we're going to talk about a second point, and next week we're going to talk about that delay. That delay between lead gen and the selling. And what can you do about it? So don't forget to join us. We're here every week to help you and to make you more successful. And I think I put that out there, did I not? Let's see. Oh, I wanted to share one more thing with you before we go today. I did put it out there, right? The free course. Let me just make sure. I'm just zooming along here. I'm sorry. Sometimes we get going. Yeah, free courses out there. Get that. It'll help your process. Listen to us every day. We're on for a minute or so. Listen to it. If you missed this live, you might be listening to it on a podcast. You might be watching us on YouTube. But please share our information. We're here. And don't forget what I said earlier. Get a copy of the free book out on our website today. Just go to coachmanny.com. Right there on our homepage on the right side, you'll see a space for you to download our book. Hey, as always, it's a pleasure being here. Get out there. Have a successful close to this year and a rockin' next year. This is Coach saying, I'll see you next week. Actually, I'll see you maybe tomorrow on the Quickie.